Apostle H. J. Grant, being called upon, expressed pleasure in meeting with the saints in general conference. To criticize was easy. To advance truths adapted to the condition of community required thought and divine assistance. The infidel tore down and built not up. If we at any time undertook to pull down the religious idols of the age, we also offered to show in place thereof the true and living God, and to tell mankind how to approach and worship him acceptably. In connection with a man's retaining in his heart the teachings of the Spirit, the speaker said it was necessary for us to live closely to God, keeping the commandments given to us. The word of wisdom was adapted to all, and it came to us now by commandment. It was therefore obligatory upon all to practice the same in spirit in which it was given. Referring to the persecutors of the saints, he said he believed many who endorsed the raid now going on, as the means to a certain desired end, were sincere, believing, as they do, that we are impostors, endeavoring to impose upon others. Others, again, were ready to admit that it was unjust and cruel in the extreme, and they were watching the outcome with interest and concern. He knew that true saints commanded the confidence of even worldly-minded men, while the same class of people could scarcely, if ever, trust an apostate. The faithful practice of the principles of the gospel begets confidence, and the fruits of the lives of honorable men commended themselves to all classes. Referring to the principle of charity, which subject had been touched upon in the forenoon, he said that he could and did pray for his enemies, that God would confound them in their evil designs, and that he might forgive them if they would repent. For himself, he prayed that he might become a useful instrument in helping to bring about the purposes of heaven. Referring to judging others as their course before the courts, he favored the idea that we should be slow to condemn, not knowing what we might do when placed in the same position. But it mattered not what we might do personally. The purposes of God would be brought about irrespective of our individual acts. The sermons preached by the brethren who would rather be deprived of liberty and put up with personal inconveniences than renounce the practice of their religious convictions speak in tones beyond any oral preaching that could be done. And it was such preaching that would count in recommending the sincerity and righteousness of our cause to the thoughtful mind. The popular argument of 55 million against the 300,000, although taking in the masses, was misleading. In fact, he had heard non-Mormons who appreciated our labors go so far as to say that history attested to the fact that whenever great social questions had been at stake, majorities had always been wrong. And especially, the speaker said, was this the case when those questions involved the supremacy of saving truths. To judge rightly, however, in this respect, the world of mankind were in the same condition as the Latter-day Saints. No man could judge correctly of the things of God without the Spirit of God. Certain brethren, he said, complain of being left to their own individual action, with none to counsel or direct them as to the course they should pursue in this trying hour. If such men did not enjoy the living testimony for themselves, they might not expect to stand the trials and tests that the saints of God would be required to pass through.